that you decline your right to counsel. Good. You know, because sometimes those lawyers, they seem to get in the way. See, now you and I can have a nice little chat. You know, man to killer. Well, you know, that's all you want to, but we both know it's true. See, not too many people would do what you did, and not to one of the richest men in New York City. But I gotta give it to you. You made this case a real bitch. You almost got away with it. You know why? Because we were looking for an average killer. Right from the start, that's what we were looking for. And right from the start, that was our biggest mistake.
Yo, always believe if there's a will, there's a way. Gotta take it day by day. Bring me along, that champion train of rain. Bring me along, oh boy, there's blood in my veins. Bring me along, right into my very last breath, nothing less. Yeah, cause that's giving it my all. Yeah, I woke up feeling rather different. All the block of clarity changes right this instant. Plagued by my own bad choices, my famous questions, seeing negative voices that are familiar. Had to block them out because we can't focus on deleting no doubts, this world will take notice. Changing my attention, something quite amazing. I'm from out the ass, these tries to be occasion. So all it takes is a disciplination. Now I'm up at it, no time is being wasted. Making my imprint, I'm moving on. Just got killer instincts, making me unstoppable. Ain't gonna be easy, but believe me, that's the moment. So they can count with every ounce you gotta own it. As for opponents doing their best to tear me down, feel the steam return of the caveman. Bring me along, know the way now it's wrong. Bring me along, and the world's in my palm. Bring me along, the power of the song, and ready when it's gone, it's on. Bring me along, that champion train of rain. Bring me along, oh boy, there's blood in my veins. Bring me along, right into my very last breath, nothing less. The best given in my all.
They start to pucker up and kiss ass. They guess they figured, you know, if they befriend someone like a Bill Gates, Donald Trump, or Sterling Montgomery, they just hit the lottery. But see, that's not you. No, that's not your style. Now, why would somebody like you befriend a man like Sterling? A man who has everything that you deserve. A man that you decided had to go. Sit your ass down. I don't give a damn if you think you've heard enough, because guess what? You and I, we're just getting started. Officer McCreary, you didn't play my play.
Fourth quarter, President Descell was letter bombed. Still some power is called.
I heard. Reverend Rapke, right? That's right. You see anything that happened here? I figured as much. All right, I want names of everybody here. Do that for me, you. Besides Mr. Montgomery, you'd be the big cheese around here, right?
I'm the vice president, if that's what you mean, Mr. Wakefield.
Well, do you mind telling me who you would have had problems with?
He had problems with everyone. Sterling was not an easy man to work for, but he does sign the paychecks.
Which I understand are pretty hefty.
You won't find many of us waving tin cups out there.
Yeah. Well, don't you think this is kind of unusual?
It's not a surprise. Sterling approaches life the way he approaches his favorite hobby, which is pool. The white ball knocks around all the colored balls, but the game isn't won until the 8 ball is sunk.
Well, you're here.
As luck would have it.
Well, I guess there's no love lost between him and the protesters, right?
Just this morning, I was in the lobby with Alan and Cordell, and Sterling's car pulled up. One of the protesters threatened him, so Alan and Cordell had to bring him inside. Miss Rapkin decided to keep his promise.
What promise is that?
He vowed to shut us down. Guess he decided to chop away at the top.
There are mail sheets on every floor. This one has inner office mount. People can drop it off in that box.
What do you do with it then?
Deliver it throughout the building.
And that's what you did today, right?
Yes.
Let me ask you something. To drop off mail in here, do you need some kind of employee ID of some sort?
Detective, this place gets so busy, Daryl Strawberry could walk in and we would never even notice.
Talk to me, Torres.
Farmer sent through his office mail. That could have been somebody who works there, somebody who walked in off the street.
What the bomb squad said is that it was sixth grade stuff called syntax. Now, it wasn't enough to attempt a decent murder.
Elaborate.
Probably trying to scare him, send him a message of warning of some kind.
Okay, Torres, I want you to check out all the employees and ex-employees of Descell, all right? Check for flyers, start out with whoever's closer to him. Williams. Bring Reverend Rapkin down here to me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice to see you again, Reverend.
If I said the feeling was mutual, I'd be as big a liar as you are.
Oh, that's right, of course. You'd be more comfortable barging into this precinct demanding justice and accusing us of not serving the community.
I didn't do that because it was comfortable. I did that because it was necessary.
Like the Descell boycott?
Exactly.
How long has that been going on now?
3 months.
3 months? You must be getting a little impatient, huh?
The Montgomery bus boycott lasted for a full year,
Yeah, that's right, but that was nonviolent.
as is ours.
Yeah, well, until today, that is.
Lieutenant, there's a backlash from corporate America. We have every right in the world to be angry, but not violent.
Come on, Reverend. Even against Descell? I mean, there's not a whites-only sign on the building, but everyone knows that they rarely hire people of color.
We're not looking for a boarding pass, just an upgrade.
On the higher-level jobs.
Only 2% of Descell's minority employees make over $50,000 a year, and there's only one high-level African-American at that company.
And that, coupled with your rhetoric, can really infuriate people, right? I mean, really fire them up, huh? So much so that one of your protesters got up into Montgomery's face today, right?
Not unprovoked. Listen, Lieutenant, the people who are marching with me are college students who are concerned about their futures. You can accuse them of being enthusiastic and determined, but don't accuse them of trying to blow that man up.
Talking to cops is one big pain in the ass. I mean, it's not like talking to a psychiatrist or a bartender. Then again, you should have thought about that before. You know what I think? I think that at some point in time, we all fantasize about canceling someone. You know, be it our boss, someone we're sleeping with, or someone we hardly know. And as sick as it sounds, I think it's normal. But when the fantasy becomes a reality, that's when I come in. There are 780 employees in the building.
Well, then I guess that means you're gonna take all day to check for priors.
No, damn. That means we have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, alright, whatever. But check it out. I gotta make a run first.
Where you making a run to?
My son, man, ever since he's got this new French teacher, he keeps forgetting everything.
Oh, you got a schoolboy crush, huh?
Yeah, I told him he could have a party, and I guess who he wants to bring.
Not the teacher.
Exactly. Now, the kid's got good taste. I had it for him. But this time, he really did leave his homework.
Oh, you know, not to worry, because you see this fella here?
Yeah?
It's for you.
You wanna hand me my jacket, please? Let me tell you something, mister. Next time you want to leave your homework at home, you're going to be out of luck.
Dad, this is Frank. I can't disappoint Miss
Gee,
Claiborne
I
like
don't
that.
care about Miss Claiborne.
Mr. Williams.
Hey.
Hi.
Miss Claiborne, how you doing?
I'm good. Bonjour, Gregory.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
My son, he left his homework, so I had to bring it down here for him.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, you know, parents, they have to have their priorities in order, you know. So I just dropped everything I was doing and came down to help my man out.
Yeah, right. Can I ask you something?
What?
Well, my dad said I could have a party, and he told me I could invite you.
He said that?
Yeah, I'd be delighted if you came.
Now, you know, you just let me know what time it is and where it is, and I'll try to be there, okay? Mr. Williams. You need to be so shy.
learn something, bro. All right?
Yeah.
Thanks for leaving your homework. Bonjour.
Mr. Montgomery,
Yeah.
I'm Lieutenant Cooper, 4th Precinct. How you feeling?
Well, both my hands are burned. I threw the sun out of my eyes. Other than that, never better.
I just want you to know that I have my best detectives working on your case.
Let me save you the time. It was that black preacher who did this.
Well, if you're referring to Reverend Rapkin, I'm not so sure he had anything to do with it.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding, sir. As a matter of fact, we need your help. We'd like to place 2 undercover detectives at Descell. And then maybe by the time you return to work, we'll have it all figured out.
Yeah, well, unless the doctor strapped me down, I'll be returning to work tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't recommend that.
Look, Lieutenant, I'll be glad to help you out any way I can, but I'm not going to run and hide until the coast is clear. I mean, you have an investigation to carry out. I've got a corporation to run.
Fine. I suggest you be very careful, Mr. Montgomery. Because whoever did this to you probably isn't finished.
Lieutenant was right on point. She said we had to catch you before you could strike again. But as the investigation went on, one thing became clear. Our pup wasn't Reverend Rapkin. Hell no. I mean, it was one of you, nose in the air, head in the clouds executives.
This October.
Bill, we'll tell everyone I'm your temp. The other detective is in the mailroom, but you should treat us like any other employee.
These people have no shame or class.
Is there anyone else who might have had a motive?
What, you mean from here?
Yeah.
Well, see, about 3 years ago, I beat out Alan Wakefield for my current position. Stockholders wanted me to run the company, and Alan was furious.
Did he threaten you?
No, he shook my hand and wished me luck. I knew what he was thinking.
What was that?
That he was the better man.
Those reports were supposed to be on my desk first thing this morning.
I got delayed.
Yeah, and if Sterling had requested those reports, you would have bent over backwards not to get delayed.
Alan, please, don't take this so personally.
If the report's not on my desk in an hour, Lane, you'll see how personally I will take it.
We'll keep our eyes on him. Now, is there anyone else you can think of?
Oh, yeah. There's Cordell Thomas. He's a very interesting man.
How so?
He's one of our top executives. Has a very enviable position, but for whatever reason, he carries a chip on his shoulder. Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Excuse me. Please let me pass. May I pass, please?
Wait, just a second, brother. Now listen, we're not trying to jeopardize your position at this plantation, but it wouldn't kill you to show us a little respect.
There's one thing you're going to get by marching in front of this building.
What's that?
Blisters on the soles of your feet. Now, may I pass, please? Excuse me. Thanks a lot, Michelle.
Oh, excuse me, are you Cordell Thomas?
Yeah.
Oh, man, back in the mailroom, you are a legend.
I certainly served my time in that place.
3 years, right?
3 long years while I earned my master's.
Well, word is, no one ever worked as hard as you. I'm sorry, Chris Lewis.
You're new, right?
Yeah, well, but I hope to walk in your shoes one day.
Be careful what you ask for.
Oh, no, sir, I'm not asking for nothing, but I sure could use some advice. I'm trying to work my way up.
Best thing I can tell you is to be the first in to work and the last to leave. Now, if you excuse me, I've got a meeting.
Oh, of course. Maybe we'll do lunch, Mr. Thomas.
And the only other person who probably hates my guts, more than most people, is Elaine Mayer.
What does she have against you?
She hates men. I don't know, maybe she's a lesbian.
Just because someone's a lesbian doesn't mean they hate men.
Oh, sorry. Are you,
No, I'm not.
well, good. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, Elaine asked for a raise and a promotion. When I said hell no, she got upset. I was surprised she didn't resign.
And maybe there's a reason she didn't. Hi. Hello. I can't believe how clumsy I am today. Orange solo. Happens to the best of us. By the way, I'm Alicia Espinal. Elaine, Mayor. Oh, sorry. There. I haven't seen you here before. Although maybe that's a good thing. You know, I'm just a little nervous. I'm filling in as a temp, but they say if I do a good job, they might be able to find something for me. Can I give you a piece of advice? Yeah. If you want to get ahead, don't rely on a tight skirt. Not unless you want to embarrass yourself.
See, that's what made this whole thing a trip. See, everyone at Descell was uptight. And every one of you come in mierdas had a damn good motive.
First order of business. Rapkin boycott. Has it hurt us significantly?
Sales are down in all the major urban areas.
How much? Have any numbers?
4.3%, which translates to around $50 million a year.
I call that significant.
Perhaps we should be smart about this, Sterling.
Excuse me?
I took the initiative to draw up a proposal.
Oh, hear that, everybody? Cordell here's going to tell me how to be smart. Oh, please, enlighten me.
We invite Rapkin over. Listen to his demands. 2 days later, we concede.
Are you out of your mind?
We can set up a tolerance committee, give scholarships to minority grad students majoring in business, and put forth a profile that shows how we plan to diversify. Whether the company actually diversifies is irrelevant. All Rapkin wants is to look like a hero, and that's what this proposal will accomplish.
And how much will this cost?
The most $2 million a year. And instead of losing money in urban areas, we can increase our profit and get Rapkin off our backs. It's all right here.
May I?
Sure.
Yeah, I must admit, this is the most ridiculous proposal I've ever heard in my life. But I'm not kowtowing to some reverend who thinks he can tell me how many black people to put in my boardroom. After all, the black guy we do have is so much smarter than the rest of us. Why on earth do we need another one?
And one of these days, you're going to have to work on your managerial skills.
You're not still waiting in the wings, are you?
And this isn't about me. This is about our staff.
Oh, my staff, Alan.
I stand corrected.
You know, I'll wager there's only one thing that frustrates you more than being the number 2 man.
What would that be?
The fact that I've hired a bodyguard.
Checked all the names on that list, and there's only one exec with a prior.
Which one?
Alan Wakefield, tax evasion 5 years ago. Tell me something. How does somebody so rich end up with money problems?
That's not good.
Well, it was me. So how'd you make out?
I spent the whole day watching those people turn their noses up at me.
Are you saying my baby had a bad day?
I've had better.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
Why not?
Zeno, come here.
Oh, baby, you smell like garlic.
I said, come on, you bore me, baby. Come here.
You said you like that.
I lied.
That was different.
What are you talking about?
What we just did. I don't know what it was, but it sure as hell wasn't making love.
I can't knock it out of the ballpark every time I'm up to bat.
What is going on with you?
What do you think about that stuff Sterling said about me being out of my mind?
I think Sterling is a self-absorbed jerk who's threatened by you.
So that's why you came to my defense in the boardroom?
What was I supposed to say?
don't know. Maybe you should just get dressed.
Maybe we should talk about this.
What's there to talk about?
Just come by anytime you want to play, and we'll make sure our fair-skinned friends don't find out about it.
Where's all this coming from?
You couldn't begin to understand.
Fine. As I remember it, we both agreed to keep this relationship private. You don't want people whispering behind your back any more than I do.
Why wouldn't I? I mean, what do I have to lose? It's not like I'm in. I don't go to their houses for dinner. They don't invite me out for drinks. I'm just somebody they've learned to tolerate.
I'm not them, Cordell. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
No, you don't. But you will.
Mr. Montgomery?
Live from the house. I mean, she thought we'd be able to protect Sterling. Or at least catch your ass before you made another move. See, we were playing on your home turf, weren't we? And you knew at the end of the week that Sterling always went to work early. You knew. And we didn't. I'll tell you something you didn't know. See, solving a double homicide is always a nice notch in my belt. Maybe that means I have a big ego. But unfortunately for you, that means I did my homework. A medical examiner believes that Mr. Montgomery may have been murdered between 7 and 7:45 a.m. Did anybody come in that early?
I don't start working until the building is open.
And what time is that?
8 a.m.
Does that mean he has a key to the place?
Sort of. No matter what time it is, any of the other bigwigs can just slide their ID cards into that slot over there.
Right.
The door pops open and they're in.
So is there a way to see if anybody else used that card? The mayor, 7:03 a.m.
Because I came in early, you think I'm a killer?
Always figure you still might be a little upset about not getting that raise a couple of weeks ago.
How do you know about that?
There's little we don't know, Miss Mayor. Besides, your ex-boss figured you as one of the people that may have sent him the bomb.
That's ridiculous. Look, I was still angry at him, so I came in to talk to him.
About?
My resignation.
Oh yeah, what do you have to say about that?
Told me to clear my desk and get the hell out.
You asked for a raise 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden you just quit?
I had some interviews set up, and I was tired of Cordell and I having to sneak behind everyone's back.
You two were involved.
I thought you knew everything.
So what did Cordell feel about you quitting?
Didn't have much of a reaction at all. I told him about it when I came out of the building. He just walked inside.
Wait a minute. You passed him when you were walking out, which means you let him in.
Well, yeah.
And what time was that?
About 7:30.
We weren't exactly going to be crowned prom king and queen, so we kept our relationship private.
How upset was she exactly when she found out she wasn't getting that raise?
Oh, no, wait a minute. If you're implying that Elaine was...
Well, man, do me a favor and just answer the question.
Elaine was upset, but not upset enough to commit murder.
And what about you?
What about me? I was angry, but I'm no killer.
Angry about what?
The way he treated people.
All right, so why don't you tell me exactly what you did when you got to work early today?
Early? I came in at 9:15. 15 minutes late.
Wait a second. Elaine said that she ran into you at 7:30 on her way out of the building.
You must have misunderstood it because I haven't seen it since last night.
Really?
Really?
He's telling the truth. How do you know for sure? Because when he came in, he asked me what time it was. I said it was 9:15. He joked about being late. Matter of fact, he didn't even know what happened to Mr. Montgomery until I told him. So what do you think? She tried to set him up?
They have a falling out or what?
Well, not one of them mentioned, but it'd be easy to believe a black man did instead of the white lady.
All right, I want you to stay on both their trails. I'm going to see what else Moreno can dig up, and I'm going to see what happens if McNamara pushes Cordell's buttons.
Stuart, I'll have a turkey sandwich and an iced tea.
Yes, sir.
is that you, Mr. Thomas?
Yeah. Chris, right?
Yeah, you don't mind if I join you, do you?
Actually, somebody was with us.
You know, I heard that this is where you have lunch, and I figured, you know, if I'm going to become an executive, then I got to start doing what they do, right?
That's very wise.
Right. Although I don't know if there's many executives who moved up as fast as you did. Cheers.
You won't find very many people who work as hard as me either.
That's true, but you gotta admit, Mr. Thomas, there are so few educated black guys out here that when one of you shows up, the system just pushes you right through.
I wasn't pushed through. I fought my way through.
Right, with affirmative action as your corner man.
Don't bite your tongue.
Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm enjoying this. Please, go on.
Well, like I was saying, a lot of people are qualified to do your job. Most of us just don't get the chance to prove it.
Reverend Rapkin says it's African Americans who don't get the chance. You sound like you're trying to say it's poor white boys who can't catch a break.
What do you say?
I have zero tolerance for crybabies. I moved up as fast as I did because I'm smarter and I work harder than anybody else at Descell.
I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Thomas, but you're also blacker. And if you think that doesn't make a difference, then you must smoke as much crack as they do uptown. That's just really good. You want some?
No, go ahead and knock yourself out. I trust you at least have enough of it, too.
Oh, yeah, I got it covered. Let's do lunch next week, Mr. Thomas.
So Tommy said, then the man got up and paid the bill.
That doesn't make him a killer?
That makes him weird. Now, most guys would have hooked off and swung out.
Yo, maybe you don't want to mess up his manicure. I still think we gotta look at the girlfriend, man. She's like acting like she loves him. Maybe she's playing her brother out.
All right. So then explain this to me. Cordell asked the security guard what time it was.
Yeah.
He was wearing a Rolex. They do stop, you know. A Rolex head.
Man, I'm sorry, look. Elaine gets my vote.
Yeah, you are sorry, man. Besides the fact, I got a party to get to, all right?
A party? Look, you see this? This is a fire. No, you see the t-shirt. No. This is called work. Where do you think you're going?
Money, my man.
How can you justify getting a paycheck? What's everybody waiting for?
I don't know. Yeah, little kids are. They're probably just afraid to get their groove on.
So that's sure like that one. Oh, come on now, why not?
Oh, it's just a little kids' party. I'd rather just, be chaperone.
I see. So cops can't dance, huh?
Oh, how you gonna try to play me like that? Of course I can move, girl.
Well, why don't you come and prove it then?
Oh, why don't you?
Leave it up.
Come on, show me what you got. Hey, what are you gonna do, huh?
Dad, what are you doing?
Hey, G, check it out. Watch your old man. Look what you gotta do, baby.
Hi, Jaden. Having fun? Yeah, right. The only people that dance are my dad and my date. You're the first teacher. I'll dance with you, dude. Sure.
Yes, Lou, we went through the files at Descell. I think we got something. All right. What am I looking at?
Copy of Descell's payroll. We highlighted Cordell's earnings for you.
$500,000. That's twice the amount the other execs are making, and there's also a contract he signed 2 weeks ago.
Which doubles his salary in the next 3 years.
He's raking in just as much money as the vice president.
And there are at least 4 other people above Cordell.
All right, you two get back over to Descell. I want to put tourism leads on this.
I don't see what this has to do with the investigation, guys.
And just humor us.
I'm sorry, I'm late for a meeting.
Let him wait. You're the man now, aren't you? Or you afraid Cordell might start without you?
You know, it was my idea to give Cordell such a great contract.
So why is that?
Sterling made some racial remarks at a board meeting. He called Rapkin and the protesters a bunch of black jelly beans. Now, Cordell wasn't present, but somehow we got a copy of this whole thing on tape.
So what do you do?
He threatened to go to the press. Okay, so I convinced Sterling to give him a new contract and a raise.
Just basically paid him off, man.
Look, we had no choice. There was no denying that he was the best man for the job. Sterling resented him anyway, and he's tried to make life miserable for the guy wherever he can.
So wait a minute. So you're saying that this contract was intended to have them kiss and make up?
On the contrary, once we got him to sign on the dotted line, we owned him. Because if he ever tried to bring Descell down, we'd say he accepted a bribe, and he'd go right down along with us.
Well, then Sterling must have been pretty proud of himself, right?
Look, about a week ago, Cordell found a gift wrap package on his desk. When he opened it up inside, he found a jar of black jelly beans. It was anonymous, but I'm sure he could figure out where it came from.
So, what did he do?
He got mad and he stormed out. The next day, he did what he always does.
Which is?
He swallowed his pride and he came back to work. I get it.
Bundle of hair.
Why do you insist on embarrassing yourself, Detective?
Why should I be embarrassed?
You're wasting your time, as well as mine.
No, Cordell, because see, we both know that you're the killer.
I've been called worse.
Yeah? What was that Sterling called you?
Never. And never boy.
Yeah, but instead he just treated you like one, right?
He may have attempted to, on occasion.
I had a teacher like that once.
You don't say.
Yep. 8th grade. She figured since half her class was Puerto Rican, that we'd have a hard time comprehending English. So that every book that she assigned to us was practically See Dick Run. That's pretty funny, huh?
I'm sure it wasn't at the time.
Not in the least. I was furious at my teacher.
Anybody ever accuse you of killing her?
No. No, but I was determined to make sure I could prove her wrong. So I busted my ass in her class until I ended up with an A. Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome, Detective.
You know, it's an amazing thing what you can do when you put your mind to it.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have a teacher that appreciates your talent, or in your case, a boss.
In my case, I don't need a pat on the back. My work at Descell has been exemplary and unheralded. Whether Sterling acknowledged it or not, it was evident.
Well, I'm sure Elaine recognized your brilliance, right?
I'm quite sure you're right.
So, do you always date white women?
You're a funny man.
No, man, I'm just asking, you know, I mean, because maybe that's the only beat you dance to.
Jealous?
Or is that why you date white women, to make people jealous? My brother.
Most black women are intimidated by me.
Really?
And as a matter of fact, most white women are intimidated by me.
But see, Elaine wasn't?
Not at first, but eventually.
Why do you keep pushing me away?
Look, you're gonna have to deal with your own insecurities. I can't pamper you anymore.
I don't want you to pamper me. I just want to know what's going on. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Same man I've always been.
Wait, Cornell. You don't have to push me away anymore. I am gone.
Where you going?
Is Elaine going to give you the tape?
What tape?
Oh, you know. The tape.
I see Alan entrusted you with his copy.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, I don't care what Reverend Rapkin and the rest of those black jelly beans say. No way am I bringing in any more black people. This is a corporation, not a crack house.
Damn. I mean, to live with that day in, day out, that must have drove you crazy. I mean, I know I couldn't take it.
It's been a challenge.
A challenge?
When I was 8 years old, I got lost in a department store. I then went up to these two security guards and I said, I can't find my mother and I'm lost. Then one of the guards turned to the other and said, hey, Charlie, how do you get to the jungle from here? They laughed themselves crazy. That was the last time I ever let some ignorant white man get to me.
So what, you got some sort of force field that protects you from racists?
Basically.
And Sterling never broke through.
Sterling? Hell no.
Even after he gave you that present?
I suppose I got a little angry.
Angry at him? Or yourself?
What are you talking about?
Talking about you being a jackass and making the wrong choice.
And when did I do that?
When you decided not to go to Reverend Rapkin or the press with that tape. When you just let them buy you out just to fill your pockets.
It wasn't about money.
All of it. Come on, what was it about?
Respect.
Are you crazy? Now I'm asking you, are you crazy? Because you must have been nuts to think that that would make a difference, my man.
For once, he had to pay attention to me. Recognize that I'm a man.
You know what? The minute you signed, the only thing that they recognized was that you were a seller.
Signing that contract was a statement. No other executive ever made that kind of money.
That money was just as good as a shackle.
Think of the money. $500,000. Would you have passed that up?
$500,000 not to be able to look my boss in the eyes. Not to stand up straight, having to beg for humiliation. $500,000 not to be a man. Hell yeah. I'd pass that up in a heartbeat.
Humiliation is cabs passing you by for some bummy dress cracker. No, listen. For being followed around in stores. For being treated like a criminal because the face of a black rapist made the evening news. By having to bear the burden of every downtrodden black person who ever walked this earth. Now, I wasn't put here to have my nose pressed against the window looking in. I am in. I am the only high-level African-American executive at Descell. And the only thing I ever asked for was a fair shot. Not to be Jackie freaking Robinson.
So instead, you just chose to be a...
I have never been in my life. And I wasn't about to let Sterling make me into one.
Torres. You got it. I think it's finally over, Cordell.
Look, I hated Sterling's guts, but I didn't kill him. Now, may I leave?
No, you may not. Sit down, because you're not going anywhere.
Why not?
Well, you see, Cord, I mean, I can't call you Cord, right, brother?
You lied about coming to work at 9:15. You walked in as Elaine was coming out. Then you went around the back and you exited. An hour and a half later, you come out and you make sure the security guard sees you. See, when we found out that you blackmailed Sterling, we got a warrant to search your apartment. Guess what we found? The murder weapon. And Semtex in your carpet. And that's the same stuff that was used to make the bomb.
May I see that, please?
See, that's what initially got us hung up on this case in the first place. See, we were looking for someone whose motive was greed, revenge, love. But you killed Sterling because you just couldn't take it anymore, because you thought it would somehow make you free. Not that I can't understand where you're coming from. But let me tell you something. Even Jackie Robinson had to be Jackie Robinson.
Come on.
off like your old man.
I don't want that much room. So you like Miss Claymore, don't you?
Yeah, she's a nice lady and she likes bald heads too.
You know what I mean.
Why, you still got a crush on her?
Nope. Looking at Mickey.
Oh yeah, who's that? The young lady you danced with all night? She's kinda cute.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so if you do like Miss Claymore, don't sweat it. You can have her.
Oh, really? Thank you very much. Take a look at that.
Somebody that just loves to learn. And another child grows up today. Somebody who just loves to learn. Mom loves both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good, Mom. Blood's thicker than mud. It's a family affair. Family affair. Over.
What's up, dog?
Hey, what's up?
We get a cranberry juice, please. What's your name?
Going solo tonight. You hear about this, Sal?
What happened?
They replaced Cordell with another black man. They're all hard, huh?
Hey, you know how they do. At least they have one token black man in the boardroom.
Newlyweds a year ago, still checking each other out. Yeah, nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. Oh, you can't leave 'cause your heart is there, but you can't stay 'cause your heart's somewhere else. You can't cry 'cause you look broke down, but you're crying anyway 'cause your heart broke down. It's a family affair.